another episode of the Fashion Grunge podcast. I'm really excited to bring you this one. My friend Jai is with me today.
Hello.
We're going to talk about the movie Clueless. I think a lot of people have probably seen this already, so it's cool. If you haven't seen it, then maybe you can hear our take on it and all the awesome outfits and everything else. So how old were you when you first saw this? It came out in 95. I'm an elder millennial. I won't tell you exactly how old, but I'm not the oldest millennial and I'm not the youngest millennial. So yeah, this came out in 95. I was pretty young.
I think I watched it when I was 13.
Oh, okay. I think I was a little older.
Yeah, like 13 or like 15. I can't. Definitely like not, but before 15 actually.
Okay. I think I rented it and didn't see it in the theater. So I think I saw it maybe when I was like 15, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember I think I was like 12 or 13 when it came out. But I remember seeing the trailer on TV and being like, oh, this looks really funny. But I didn't see it in the theater, So yeah. This is, I mean, I know this movie by heart, I think. It's pretty obvious. And I've seen it a million times. And yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Cool.
It's exciting. Brittany Murphy, unfortunately, has been gone for 10 years now, which is super crazy. Really sad. But
yeah.
I love her.
I don't think like people talk about her much. I don't think
No, not really.
It's sad, yeah.
She did a lot of really good films. I'm trying to think the last one I saw of her might be 8 Mile. Might be the last thing I saw her do.
I think that's the last thing she did.
Is it? Yeah, it was a long time ago.
There was another film that came out before that was like really... Oh, it was like a comedy with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, Just Married?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on DVD.
Really that was actually really
I really
cool.
like that movie. I think they were dating in that movie.
I never even knew. You told me.
Yeah. It's really funny. She also did a movie called The Dead Girl. That's really weird. I think it's called The Dead Girl. It's really weird. It's like almost like told from different time periods, and you kind of have to figure out the mystery as it goes on.
I definitely haven't seen it.
It's good.
I've seen it advertised. I've seen it on.
Yeah,
on
it's
Prime,
good.
But
It's really good. And then obviously we know Stacey Dash is. I mean, Google it. You can find out what she's been up to. And Alicia Silverstone was in something. I think a TV show last year, but I haven't really seen. Oh no, she was in something else. She was in this movie called King Cobra, which is really weird, that James Franco, oddly enough, was in too, but it was about like a weird, like a gay porn star, and she was the mom. And
I just saw that she wasn't acting anymore.
No, she is. And she was one of the first vegans I remember hearing about. Because when this came out, she was super, like, animal rights, like, it's kind of weird.
I think, like, when did that video came out? There was a video that came out with her and Liv Tyler for like...
Oh, that was before this.
That was before that? Okay.
I think she got cast maybe from...
I thought they were friends, and maybe that's why they...
I
feel like she was really big in the 90s.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, but then she didn't really do much. Like, I feel like she had potential to be like the it girl.
Yeah, she did Excess Baggage after this, which was like a really like B movie with like Brendan Fraser. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't. I think I saw it once, but anyway, we're gonna talk about what made them all pretty well known and famous. So yeah, let's talk about Clueless. So obviously the soundtrack is really awesome.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to it, I'm sure it's on Spotify or somewhere.
Like, it's really weird to think that it's Radiohead, like, because I feel like they will never. A lot
of Radiohead.
I don't think like they will do any music for any kind of film about teenagers or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like a different time with their career, so I mean, why not? You know?
Yeah, if anyone knows how that works, then like definitely hit us up because we're curious on why people are in certain. I mean, I automatically assume that you have to but maybe when you're with a big label, you don't. Maybe they're allowed to sell your music wherever, and you kind of don't have an option. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like so many other songs of what was it? The Bends or was it?
Yeah, it was I think it was the Bends. Yeah.
So many songs from that album are in the movie.
Yeah, and No Doubt's Just a Girl is playing, and that
album
album wasn't when she's in the car, right? When you kind of meet her, and that wasn't out yet. Tragic Kingdom came out in 96, and that was 95. So I'm assuming they had some kind of like, I guess, a pool of music to choose from, and they knew it was,
And they were kind of small, but I mean they weren't like huge.
Yeah, but they weren't, no doubt.
Like I think that album, like that Radio Hits album was like became really big.
Yeah.
But I don't think like when they shot the film, I don't think it was like huge, obviously.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it's so weird. But anyway, the music is super great. There's an opening scene with the Muffs of Kids in America. That's the song. And it's basically this super ultra 90s montage of Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash or Sharon D and their other kind of extemporaneous friends. Really weirdly enough, she says, like, is this like a Noxema commercial or what?
Oh, yeah.
Which is really funny
really
because
funny.
that's totally what the 90s Noxema commercials looked like. It was all these girls just having fun, but it was for acne. It was really weird. That was kind of funny. And then when they show her house, I think because it's the beginning, you just see her house and her iconic dressing fashion closet on a computer, which was...
It's so, like, kind of futuristic then.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I don't
Even
know. 'Cause
now.
I don't remember. I guess. I mean, I don't even think anyone does that.
How would you do
I don't
it?
think it's even being shown in, like, films. Like,
No.
and I also think, like, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like with that Clueless, it wouldn't be like Sex and the City. Like, it's completely different, but I feel like they really were inspired by that. Like, fashion is like a massive thing about the show, right? And it's not quite the same, obviously, but it's all about the outfits. And I feel like even like Carrie says like fabulous a lot, like in Clueless.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like in a weird way, it kind of influenced that.
And it was just 3 years after was when
Oh,
Sex and the City started.
Yeah, so it
so
totally makes sense.
Yeah, and Patricia Field, I mean, is an awesome costume designer. But maybe, because Mona May is the costume designer of Clueless, maybe she knew Patricia Field, or maybe they worked together.
Yeah.
And maybe she was like, oh, let me take some inspiration from that. Because it was very colorful.
Yeah.
Like, Clueless is just, like, color. Everything
so
is
cool.
coordinated. Everything is... Even the people in the background are wearing colorful stuff. Like, yeah, it's really cool. I really wonder how.
And I love that, like, when you think about some of the outfits, like all the checker like sets, that was kind of like happening in like the catwalk in like 95.
Yeah, like Versace. Yeah.
So it's kind of like really cool that you see sort of young girls wearing that, because to me, like, when I think of the 90s, I think, like, Versace, I think, like, all the women, you know?
And
like,
the supermodels.
Supermodels,
Yeah.
and, like, voluptuous, kind of, like, older, like, an older generation. And I think it's really cool that they kind of done, like, a younger kind or they made it look cool and accessible. I mean, maybe not so accessible, because there is a lot of Chanel there, and, like, that's not obviously not accessible. But
The thing that's cool is they never mention brands.
they don't, but I feel like you can see it.
Can you?
See, like, Chanel makeup at some point?
Oh, yeah. Maybe, you might see the makeup. But I know she doesn't have, like, a Gucci bag or, like, a Louis bag.
No, but she
or
does.
does she?
But when she goes shopping, she has all these bags.
Oh, yeah,
and
she
it's
does.
All, like, Dior and Chanel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she has the Dior.
That's the only time when you see her. Like,
but she doesn't talk about it.
She doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, she doesn't say, like, oh, hand me that Gucci shirt. Or she does say, where's my white collarless shirt from Fred Siegel's? Which is just a department store, but it's expensive. So I guess that kind of implies that she has money to buy it.
I don't know what that is, but...
Yeah, it's in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a department store in LA. I guess it's still around, but... Anyway, so back into the story. You meet Cher. You meet her dad, who's Dan Hedaya, who's in so many random things in the 90s, always playing a dad. And she's got this white Jeep, and they're playing No Doubt, Just a Girl. And she's got that awesome yellow outfit that she wears, I think, the longest. Because she's always switching.
Yeah.
So I think she wears that the longest.
It's like
It's
yellow
really cool.
jacket, skirt, and then she's wearing like a little cardi underneath as well.
Like a short
white
one.
shirt.
Yeah. It's super layered.
So cool.
It's really cool. And I think knee-high socks.
Yeah.
Like white socks. And, of course, if you've seen the Iggy Azalea video, it's what Iggy Azalea is wearing in that video. Like, it's literally Clueless. And then she picks up Dee, who's Stacey Dash, who's her best friend, because they both know what it's like for people to be jealous of them. So that's why they're friends. And they all... Yeah, she has that weird coordinated outfit, but it's just black, white, and red.
Oh, yeah.
With the lampshade on her head.
Oh, yeah, it's like a hat.
Yeah, the hat. It's really weird.
It's really cool.
It is cool. It's just really weird. But she would pull it off because she kind of looks cool and everything. And I think she was like 28 when she did the movie.
Oh, wow.
She's really old and looks really amazing.
She looks so young.
Yeah, I think she was the oldest one there, which is really funny. And then, of course, you go to school. They're in a school that looks like a college, like every LA high school does. Which is actually the same high school they filmed Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, cool.
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like that's a fun tip. Then we meet Murray, who I love, Dee's boyfriend. And he's just great. I mean, I love Donald Faison. He's in a lot of stuff now. He was in Scrubs.
Oh, yeah, he was in Scrubs.
Yeah, and he's in a few other things, but he's so funny, and he looks exactly the same as he did then. And he just has the best slang. Like, he's just like... They all have the best slang. I mean, slang is a huge part of the movie in general, and you're not really supposed to know what it is. When I first heard it, I didn't know what a Betty was or a Barney, as if. I'd never heard any of these names.
I don't know what it means.
Even now.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Betty's someone who looks nice. Barney's someone who looks kind of bad. I guess it's maybe outfit. As if. I mean, clearly that's just like whatever. But I think the director said that she hung out at schools in Beverly Hills and she heard the kids talking.
Wow.
And she wrote it down and she incorporated. Cool. Yeah, that's so cool that she incorporated it in there. So that was really cool. And then, then Cher says her iconic line, as if, when that guy like grabs her in school. And she has this amazing monologue throughout the movie too, which I like. Yeah, it's really cool. And she's so weird. I mean, she's kind of painted as this dummy in the beginning, like a ditz, you know, but she actually is good. Like, she's actually kind-hearted.
She's really sweet. I think that's the whole thing about her character, that she's got a good heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's super selfless.
She's not like superficial, like
no, not
like,
really.
Might seem,
yeah,
you know, like she is, but she's not. I think that's really cool. It's kind of like so different from like Mean Girls.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Mean Girls. Yeah. Because they actually, like, she comes in and she...
and dumb.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. No,
but like Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls comes in as the new friend and they kind of like ruin, like they kind of do psychological stuff to her to make her not secure, but yet they're like, hang out with us. But this one, they're actually like, no, we want to help. Like they are, I think they're just trying to make Ty look better, which makes them look better. But it doesn't seem mean, you know?
But also I think it's like so cool that you don't really have films or shows like that anymore. It's like...
No.
You know, like...
Everything's mean.
That's what I mean. Like, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, it's like innocent. Like, you don't really have shows or films that are like that anymore.
No.
You know? It's all about, like...
drugs
they're really
and, like...
promiscuous or, like... drugs and like whatever. I mean, I know times change, but it's just that's why it's so refreshing to watch that film, because it's like, oh, I think it was kind of like that when I went to school.
It kind of was.
I wasn't, you know, it's not like
now everyone's vaping and like
crazy.
stoned. Like, I don't know. I mean, we're really old, so we don't know what happens in high school now. But from what I'm seeing, I'm glad I'm not in high school. I'm really glad I'm not in high school. Then we go to Cher's debate class, which I always wish I had a class in high school that was debate, because I feel like that would have been really fun. And she fights with, I believe, Amber. I think that's when you first see Amber. Yeah. She's the like redhead in class, and she's kind of sassy, and they're kind of frenemies, because she does pop up throughout the movie, but they're not friends.
Like sometimes they hang out, or like they're sitting together, but they obviously don't like each other.
No, yeah, they're obviously just kind of like, meh, whatever, like just basic frenemies. Jeremy Sisto, yay, that's Elton, who's also in the class. I love Jeremy Sisto, the actor. He's in there. We get to meet him, and then I think we also meet Travis, who's like the stoner skater guy, who's also in that class. After that, they go into, I guess, getting their grades. They get their report cards at the school, which is kind of weird. I think ours was always mailed. I don't think we got ours.
Mail?
Yeah, because I remember when I was younger, people would be like, oh crap, this report cards went out, and they're trying to get to the mail before their parents see them.
Oh, definitely didn't have that.
Yeah, we didn't have them handed to us. Where we knew and our parents didn't know, because then it's like...
I actually don't remember.
Yeah, I know we didn't get them handed to us like they did. They just passed them out in class, like, here, these are for your whole semester. I mean, if we did, I think they got mailed too, so it wasn't just like both of us, but... Yeah, it's kind of weird. And then, of course, the rampant cell phone use because no one really had cell phones. And then that's when you see Cher and Dee like meet up when they're both on the phone.
Breaks.
Massive.
I mean, like, I'm sure kids like then didn't have cell phones, right? There's no
95? No, it was like rich. Like you were rich if you had a phone. Because you'd have to pay like a month. Like your parents would have to pay. You're in high school. And they had pagers. They had pagers and phones. And I remember I wanted a pager really bad.
Went to a pretty good, fancy like school.
Yeah, did you have a phone in 95? I mean, I had a phone I think in 99
My dad had one, but it's like my dad's.
Yeah. My mom had one in the car. The car phone that plugs into the lighter. She had that thing, but I don't know when she got it. I think I got a phone in like 98 or 99. But it was literally it didn't have text. I mean, it was literally just to call my mom.
Yeah, it was just a call. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even to talk to my friends because, no one had phones. Or if they did, like, it was so expensive to talk on a cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, I had one really late. I think I was 16.
Oh, that's good, though.
And it was a Nokia.
Oh, yeah, I had that with the changing faces.
Yeah.
Where you could, flip it off. Yeah. I just have Cher's French tips, ?
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, like she has the French tips, which everybody...
It's so classy.
Everybody used to, like, have all the time. I don't like them personally.
I mean, I don't do it now.
Would you do it now? Yeah, I was going to say,
definitely did that back then. I mean,
I've never had them.
When I was younger.
I don't know if I would. But, yeah, it's very telling of the time. Actually, people still do it. I mean, it's not...
People still do it.
Yeah, it's not completely crazy. The next one is our first introduction to Paul Rudd, a.k.a. Cher's stepbrother, but he is somewhat kind of grungy, I guess. Like,
He's definitely grungy.
I think he went to school in Seattle. She makes a reference to him being like, oh, I guess the Seattle weather is, like, really cold. That's why you're wearing this flannel inside. Or something, like, weird like that. And he's like, oh, cool. And, yeah, they have this funny kind of brother-sister relationship.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool. I mean, he loves, like, Radiohead and, like, probably Pearl Jam or something
Probably,
like that.
95?
But he's older as well.
He's college age? Or he's, like, 21, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't think he's, like, 25. I think he's, like, 21, maybe. Because he's coming home from college, so he's got to be within that 4-year, unless he has an apartment.
Yeah.
But I don't think he does. I think he, like, is just coming home. But it's weird because their parents aren't married still. Like, his mom and Cher's dad were married, but they're not now, but he still comes and hangs out at their house, so... I don't know. Probably because they have a big, huge, nice house in Beverly Hills. Like, why wouldn't you? If you're still chill with him. And he wants to be a lawyer, and the dad's a lawyer, so... That works out. But yeah, I have first intro to Josh looking grungy. Yeah, he looks exactly the same.
He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, like, Google Paul Rudd... in Clueless and now. I mean,
maybe he's a tiny bit bigger,
but older, but
his face looks the same. He has like baby face too.
And he was chiseled. And you didn't see Ant-Man? He's in a Marvel movie, and there's like a sequence of him when he finds the suit or whatever that's magical, and he's like working out, and he like it's weird to see him without a shirt and like ripped, like he's. So, like, he's just doing weightlifts, and he's just pulling himself, and I was like, what? It was almost like that scene in Batman with Ben Affleck, where you see him, like, dragging a truck tire, and you're like,
but I don't think he's ever been, like, maybe for that one film.
Yeah, that's the only time I think anyoun's ever seen him like that.
You know, big muscles and, like, working out like that.
Yeah, no, he's not that kind of guy. I don't think. He doesn't
seem
like it.
He strikes me as a, I don't know, like, someone who does yoga.
Probably.
Or, like, something like that, like...
He's really cool. I like Paul Rudd. And I wrote Cher as a Carrie Bradshaw, because we were just talking about, like, how they're all literally kind of the younger versions of the Sex and the City
Yeah, I mean,
girls.
I'm pretty sure, like, I feel like Clueless inspired so many, like, I don't know, like, fashion definitely, like, other shows, films, the whole, like, dynamic of, I mean, there's been so many films and shows based on, like, high school and like all the different groups, you know, like the nerds and like the popular kids, but I'm pretty sure that was probably one of the first ones.
It was one of the first ones I remember. Yeah.
What about Freaks and
Geeks? That's a TV show, 99.
So that's way later.
Yeah, it's later. And then I'm trying to think of a show that they had where it was like...
What about Dazed and Confused? That was before Clueless?
That was 2 years
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
That was what, seniors? Like they're 17, 18, then there's some older ones. But that's the 70s.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, so that's not like a current state of, I guess, what was happening right then. I know Clueless fashion took over the malls, like Contempo Casual, Claire's, those feather pens. Like you could buy all of that stuff when it came out. It was a big deal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I remember she's in Contempo Casual in the mall. She's in that store, and I was like, oh my god, like, and they had it at the mall, and it was basically like Wet Seal, like. I'm trying to think, like Forever 21. It's basically Forever 21 before there was a Forever 21. But it was smaller. Okay. It wasn't definitely as big as Forever. And I don't think it ever got that big. It was just like in malls. Oh, yeah. It was super cheap. Okay. Very trendy. You know, like those bubble chairs, those like picture frames that were like all glittery. Like all that 90s shit that you could buy in like a random store. Yeah, you grew up in like a lot of different places. So I just have from the American perspective. Yeah, I don't know if they had that. Or if it was a big deal. Was it a big movie? I know it was big here, but I wonder, was it big internationally?
I think it was, because, I mean, I watched it, and it was a thing. Like, I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't know the film. Or
aside from one of our friends, who will be on one of the other podcasts, but she's younger. Like,
a lot younger.
Yeah, I don't think it was a thing. I mean, I guess even now...
But I know people that are, like, young, and they
watched it,
they still, like, I mean... They even think of the film for like outfits for like Halloween and stuff like that. Which,
that's true. Yeah, the Halloween outfits. Yeah.
I guess it depends where you grow up, and like, you know.
That's true. Yeah, if you grow up in like a suburb,
city,
if you're in the city, where you're like more access.
Like I'm sure
to
people in New York or like big cities, like or in other countries as well, like London. There's no way you don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no way you don't know what it is. Yeah, because it's talked about everywhere. Let's see. So now we're moving on. The feather pens. Yeah, of course, they were a huge deal.
I mean, I had that too. I
had those. And a Starbucks cup. It might be the first time I ever saw a Starbucks cup.
You said that, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think we had Starbucks until like 98, 99.
Well, you mean like in Washington?
Yeah. Like I didn't see one. I remember seeing one when I was, I don't know, like 12, I guess. We didn't always have them, contrary to what you believe now, or what it's like now.
In every corner.
We didn't have coffee anywhere. It was like kind of weird to think that people would be ordering coffee.
But it's also funny because they're like young and they're drinking coffee.
Yeah, I don't even know if I drank coffee when I was.
I did.
15.
Definitely. Oh yeah, I was drinking coffee from 12, but.
12? You have good coffee though.
Yeah.
Like Mexico's great coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I definitely don't think I had coffee until I was probably like 17 or 18, I guess.
Oh, wow.
I guess. I don't remember, but I don't remember drinking, like, loads of coffee in high school. So I'm assuming I probably didn't. Let's see. The next scene is Cher convincing Josh that she needs to take her driving test and she needs some pointers. And he wants to, like, you know, to be the passenger in the car while she's trying to learn to drive. He looks really weird. He's like sitting by the pool reading Nietzsche, and then he has that weird goatee that she makes a comment about, and he's wearing like full on like leather jacket, sunnies, and like he looks like he's in fall. It looks like it might be fall there because he's really like covered up, and she has that awesome outfit that you like. The leather.
The leather set.
Yeah, the leather set.
Yeah,
which is
I love
cool.
that. I mean, she wears so many amazing outfits.
I wonder what the fitting was like. Like, I wonder what they had to fit her in, and then what they narrowed down to, like, all right, this is what you're going to, like, she has so many outfits. I just wonder how they even...
so many outfits.
And everyone must have a person. Like, every person must have a costume designer. There's no way that woman could do, like, 30 outfits
they had
for each one.
So, like,
so they must have
one person overseeing everything, like, the costume designer, and then they assign, like, assistants to, like, dress that person.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's how it works. From my experience working in TV, I'm like...
Yeah, that's cool, though. That must be really cool to dress... It must be really weird to do TV shows where they're kind of... I mean, it's about the fashion, but not really, because it's basically just, like, the story, unless the fashion's a part of... Like, Sex and the City, obviously, like, the fashion's a part of the story.
Oh, yeah.
But other shows, like... I don't know, like friggin' Grey's Anatomy or whatever, where they're literally just wearing regular clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you see them not in the doctor, they're just wearing like whatever a normal person would be wearing at home. It's just really weird to think that they have to do all that.
But I mean, still, it's like an actual job. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. That you have to go buy like regular stuff.
Yeah, like you had to have fittings where you like, okay, this needs to be altered, it needs to be shortened or whatever.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. It's cool though.
It is.
Yeah, it's really cool. Let's see. So after she does the whole like driving thing, obviously Josh is like, "You're an idiot. You can't drive," and she says like, oh yeah, he asks like, do you want to practice parking? And she's like, no, what's the point? Everywhere you go has valet. So just pretty good. Pretty classic Cher line there. And then after that, Cher comes with this bright idea to get the teachers together. Her like debate teacher and some other woman teacher. I don't know what she teaches, but she wants to get them together so it'll improve her grades.
Yeah, which it's kind of smart.
Yeah, it is really smart. You know, and it's funny.
And it kind of worked, I mean, obviously in the film, but...
Yeah.
But she's also doing something really sweet, like, you know, finding, like, I don't know, like, their match or whatever. Like,
she's super selfless. Like, she's a really cool friend. Right, I mean, I feel like she would be an awesome friend.
She's, like, in her own way, it's like she's improving the world. Like, her world, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's kind of benefiting her, but she's, like... I think she really likes to see everyone happy.
Yeah,
she wants to see her dad happy.
So. Yeah.
She wants to see, you know, Josh, whatever. She has that weird relationship with him at this point, so she's just whatever. But she wants to see like Dee happy. She wants like, I mean, I think she just wants everything to be cool. Mm-hmm. I don't think she really wants any drama. Unlike Mean Girls, where they literally thrive off drama, like the whole thing. Yeah. It's really funny we should probably review Mean Girls with our friend who is Mean Girl age. Like, she would have seen that when she was, like, a teenager. So she probably has a totally different view of it.
I think she was pretty younger, though.
Was she?
I think so.
Oh, wow. Well, that'll be really interesting, then.
Yeah.
Because she's probably going to have an even more differing view, because it's weird. We're going to review another film with her pretty soon that's, like... I mean, you'll find out about it. It'll be cool, but it's going to be a really different kind of thing. Let's see. So she's getting them all together. I love the outfits that they wear when they're writing the notes to put in the mailbox of the teacher. What? Like, Cher has a black and white outfit, but Dee has, like, this huge red, yellow hat that's massive, and she has, like, a neon cardigan, and they always wear skirts. They wear a lot of skirts.
You don't ever see her, like, wearing trousers.
She's wearing jeans when she's giving that stuff away for the Pismo Beach disaster. And she's wearing, like, blue jeans, but she's just literally, like, walking across. Like, she's not really wearing it. She has... I love that. That one's so cool.
My favorite outfit.
We're gonna actually recap pretty soon our favorite and not so favorite outfits of all the different characters, but I'll blow through this. The gym outfits. The PE class, that's... so iconic.
So cool.
All of them.
Although I can't imagine anyone going to school in outfits like that.
And the little purse she had with the cell phone, she like had a gold thing
cool.
that and she was like, hold this.
I mean, that's like a thing now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really funny.
That is a thing now. It's so cool.
Ahead of its time. Although everything is just, I guess fashion is a cycle, right? Everything just comes back. Eventually, everything will come back.
Well, it's everything. Like, right now, it's everything. So it's 90s still, 70s, it's 60s. I feel like
80s aren't really back.
Well,
so
no,
much.
I feel like it's 80s
is
too.
It? Yeah.
It's like everything is weird.
The shoulders.
Normally you had like 70s is back, but now I feel like there's so much going on at the same time. It's kind of like, I mean, I just live in the past and it's a better place, so I don't really like much of what's happening.
I totally live in the past. Yeah. I mean, I just wish everything was. I don't know. I guess I just wish I was like 25 forever. So I was in that median age of like being able to enjoy things and not have like crazy amounts of responsibility.
It's just like so saturated now with like
a lot.
Even like fashion, like you can't. Like people love to like wear all the trends
all together.
And it's you know, we live in a world of like Instagram and like it's just weird.
And celebrities like driving everything. Like if they wear it, people buy it. It's just crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, the gym outfits were amazing. I just wrote Ty, because this is when we meet Ty, aka Brittany Murphy, who's the new transfer student who looks amazing because she's wearing like a really awesome ill-fitted grungy outfit with a troll picture on the front of her shirt.
It's like too oversized though.
It is too oversized.
Like she looks like it's not flattering.
She looks like a boy, yeah. She looks the complete opposite from every girl in that school. Let's put it that way. Because like they all dress very like, you know, like stylized, I guess you could say. They show her around school. It's got a great soundtrack. She meets Travis, the stoner skater guy that we met earlier. They definitely vibe. They're definitely the same. They're both kind of stoner.
And they're into drawing.
Yeah, she's into drawing. Yeah, so is he, and he's a definite stoner. And I love that when she comes out of the cafeteria and she tells Dee and Cher, like, hey, I just met this great guy. And then they're like, where? And then she tells them, and they're like, Ty now.
Yeah, they're like, stay away from
They're like, stay away from the stoners. And now it's like everyone's vaping and like stoned all the time. So, I mean, he really isn't that much. I mean, he's definitely not better than Elton, the guy who's like kind of a walking Me Too, the one who like assaults Cher in that car.
But like in a way, they still care about appearance there, you know, because they're like, oh no, you're not gonna do well in the school if you dress like this.
Yeah, if you hang out with that group.
Or you hang out with
all the stoner kids, which is kind of funny. Then they need to change Ty because she's got to look like them. So they're like, okay, let's do a makeover. So they have that awesome montage of like that song Supermodel where they're like washing the hair and they're doing all that stuff. And then they put her in that. Oh, that outfit's cool that she gets put in. It's like that velvet. Is it that velvet dress with the big collars?
Oh yeah, that is.
Isn't that cute. What they put Ty in? I think that's what they put her in. It's like that cranberry velvet.
Yeah, the first one's cute.
Yeah, that one's cool. And then I think guys, she's like, oh look, guys are noticing. And then
because she's like different as well.
Yeah,
like,
she's
has,
definitely
like,
different. Yeah, and she's like red hair. She's from Jersey, and she has like this really funny Jersey accent in it, which is really cool. And then Cher like takes all of her friends and does like a photo shoot like at the fountain, and it's like a bunch of people that we don't know. Like there's Summer, and then there's Elton, which you kind of briefly see again. And then there's like Dee, her boyfriend Murray, and like Ty, and I guess that's it. And they're all together, and she gets them all together. And I was like, she's a film camera. This is 1995. So cool, she has a little film camera. That. Yeah, and she's taking photos of her friends, which is like really weird. Something's going on upstairs. So if you hear any like yelling and bumping,
I don't know. Think I hear it. But
I had a really weird neighbor once that I swear was like
it's definitely a fight
doing something. Is it? I gotta hope
like
it's not
some boyfriend and girlfriend argument, I think. But
well,
sorry.
Hopefully it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I doubt you'll hear that, but that's what's happening. The house party. One of my favorites. Travis, the stoner guy, invites Brittany Murphy to the party, and the other two are like, it's in the valley. We can't go. It's too far. And Ty kind of makes it known, like, hey, I like that guy. Like, is he going to be there? And they're like, no, you can't get with him. Like, and then they start talking about the hierarchy of the guys in the school. Like, that's Murray. He hangs out with all the popular kids. That's like the Persian mafia.
Oh,
and she's like, you can't hang with them unless you want a BMW. And then like the TV station, and then like all the, like, it's almost like the groups. These are the groups in the school. And then she's just kind of like, oh, okay. But for some reason they go. I mean, at first she kind of talked her out of it, but then they're like, oh, okay, well, let's go. So they end up going to this house party in the valley, which is a mess, but an amazing house party 90s mess. Like, it's great. There's people everywhere. Everyone's drinking.
It looks fun.
It looks super fun. And Cher's wearing like an evening dress.
Oh my god, she's wearing a really cool dress, but it's so dressy.
It's
like
so
evening,
dressy.
kind of like so cool.
Yeah, and the shoes that they spill. I think like Travis spills something on it, and she's like, "My shoes!" And I think they're suede. There's something that you can't.
I can't remember what designer they were, but she did say. I think she did say the designer.
I know the other thing is Aliyah. I know like the coat is Aliyah, right? When she gets robbed, yeah. Oh my gosh, like we're jumping around it. You've probably seen this movie if you're listening to this. If you haven't, like, I mean, you should probably have stopped it a while ago and just watched it.
It's one of those films that you had to own, I think.
Yeah, you definitely do.
For sure.
Satin. I actually wrote, I learned about satin shoes because she says, ruin my satin shoes, why don't you? They're satin. So that's really bad. Like, super bad if she's spilling shit on that. Then I have, the days of smoking pot in 95, when it's, like, a big deal that if someone has a joint. And it's probably crap anyway. But it's kind of funny how they're like, hey, you want some? And then they, like, pass it around and they act stoned for, like, another like 15 minutes, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I can't relate to that. Like,
It's pretty funny. And then the best part of the whole house party is when Ty gets knocked out by that clog.
that's really funny.
The girl's like, the girl's dancing or whatever, and she just like shoots her shoe like all the way across to Ty, and it actually.
Well, I think isn't she like dancing on a table or something?
I think she's sitting down, and everyone's going like this.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like doing their legs, and then her leg just flips up, and her clog like flies, knocks her out. Then she kind of like has a little weird moment with Elton, who's Jeremy Sisto, who Cher is kind of trying to fix her up with because he's really popular and she should go out with him. And I just have Cher as the best friend ever. She really is. Like, she's really...
It's true, yeah. She wants him to like... Well, no, I think she wants her to like someone else rather than the guy. But...
Most definitely.
But there's a twist.
There's definitely a twist. Then Cher's dad has the very iconic line, "Everywhere in LA takes 20 minutes," because he calls her at this party and wants her to come home. He's like, "Everywhere in LA takes 20 minutes." So now Cher's got to go home, and it's weird because when they're all leaving, like Elton, I guess, she's trying to get Ty to go with Elton because he's going to drive her home. And then there's the girl Summer, who we like, this is the only time we see Summer, I think. And she's like, "Oh no, I'll go with Summer, you go with Ty." But then it gets mixed up.
Well, because it doesn't make sense for Cher to drive with
Elton.
Yeah, it doesn't. But then... No, actually, I think it does because they live closer to
each other. That's what his reasoning is. But then she doesn't want
that because she's like, "No, you have to take Ty home.
Yeah.
So, like, you hook up kind of thing."
But then it ends up not working.
It doesn't work out.
Yeah, he ends up saying like, "No," pulls Cher, and that was kind of weird. But Ty's like, "Okay, whatever." Like, she doesn't really like him anyway. So she's like, "Okay, whatever." So then it comes to like Cher and Elton in the car, and he's like definitely putting the moves on her. But it's really weird that when I watched it, being like, really 15 or whatever, I was like, "Oh my gosh, what a fucking predator. He's insane." Like, because she's like very, very like, whoa. And she like gets out of the car really fast and she's just like, "Leave me alone." But obviously now watching it with like this Me Too lens, like, I feel like he would probably be like way more demonized now.
Oh, he would.
Like, I don't think he would have even been in the movie at all. It would have been like, "I'm calling the cops." Like it would have been like a different setup.
But back then, I mean, things were different. Like, he was just like trying.
And he didn't keep going.
He just thought, it's not like,
Yeah, he didn't like force himself on her. Like, he tried to kiss her and then she just kind of like shoved him away. And then she just says like, "Stop."
Yeah.
And I think he just says something like really snarky.
Which is the dialogue because he's like, "We make sense because
that's right.
of who we are," kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
right.
Ty and I don't make sense. Like, my parents would never, something like along the lines of they would never.
She's from Beverly Hills. I mean, like, how poor is she? I mean, isn't this supposed to be like everyone's supposed to be rich?
I think it's more about like, not so much about that, but clearly like. Family, like a family name.
Oh, like her status?
Like,
yeah, maybe.
I think it's totally about that.
Because we know nothing about Dee's parents. We know nothing about Ty's parents. We just know that Cher's dad is like a big lawyer, like a really.
But like, I mean, I don't know if
lawyer.
that was. I'm sure that's how it was here, but I definitely can relate to that because kids were like that in school.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
It was like, it's not just about like how much money like we have, like what area we live, like what our parents do, like. It's
all together.
It's like, oh, you have money because your parents like have like a shop. It's not quite the same as like, oh, we're lawyers or like doctors.
Yeah, or doctor.
It's just like there's all of this. Like,
that's true. Yeah.
Which, sucks. But I mean.
But I wonder what Ty's parents were doing. They live in Beverly Hills, so I mean, they're not broke. I mean, they're all supposed to be pretty. Like, well-to-do, so I wonder what they do that he does, or if he doesn't even know. He just knows that Cher's dad is a lawyer. Like, he probably doesn't even know anything about Ty, I would assume. Like, no one does. She just got there.
But I guess everyone knows who she is.
Yeah, they know, like, who she is and who she isn't. If she was really famous, then I guess they would all know that. But, yeah, it's kind of a drag. But, yeah, then comes the amazing Cher. I mean, not amazing. I mean, Cher gets mugged. but it's
I
kind of
love
an
that
iconic
scene. It's so
line,
funny.
yeah, where she just, yeah.
Get down on your knees. Oh, but I'm wearing
A Laya. And he's like, what? And she's like, it's important, designer. And he's like,
it's just too funny.
get down. And then
She's
she
like,
ruins it. Then she calls Josh, who's like making out with some college girl, and she whines that she's like, he made me ruin my dress. And he's like, okay, I'll pick you up. And then she's in the valley, which is crazy far. Not really, but I mean, it's far from where she is. And then he goes and picks her up, and then it's kind of funny, like, he's dating this girl who's like this highbrow, like, intellectual college girl, and Cher totally, like, kind of calls her out that, like, what she was saying wasn't right. It was really about something about Mel Gibson that, like, Mel Gibson was in, which is kind of funny. That she kind of, and then I think Josh sees it and is kind of like thinks it's funny that she.
I think she's like trying to quote like Shakespeare or something, and then she's like, no, and she's like, how would you even know? It was like, because Mel Gibson played that role.
Yeah.
And she clearly said, blah blah blah.
And then she was right, which is kind of funny. And the girl's just like, whatever. Like, she's just like, obviously, I guess, is kind of embarrassed around Josh, but I'd be pretty embarrassed too, because she's like, you know, she's not that kind of girl that you would think would be like, no, actually.
Yeah, because everyone thinks that she's like dumb or like.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the consensus, I guess, that she is. The next the next awesome scene is when she's in the locker room with the girls, and I think Cher must tell Ty that, like, Elton doesn't like you. And she's like, yeah. And they're in the locker room. Yeah, and she's like, it's my hips, isn't it? And they're like, no. You could do so much better. Like, it's fine. And then they blow off school. And they're in that locker room, and, like, everyone's wearing, like, super 90s underwear, too, which is kind of funny. Like, all the girls are wearing, like, those weird, like, high-waisted underwear that everyone wore in the 90s. Like, that all the, like, bathing suits look like. And they're, like, they're just, like, hanging out and, like, on their phones. And I was like, what is this? What kind of... And they're all dressed. Like, the three girls in the front are all, like, dressed, I think. Like, they're all wearing, like, their outfits and stuff. And then they go to the mall. And then that's when I think when you find out Cher's a virgin. And they have that funny conversation about, like...
that's really sweet as well.
And then Cher's saving herself for Luke Perry. It's like, wasn't everybody in the friggin' 90s? Like, it's just kind of funny. Yeah. Oh, I have, like, for the weird scene, I have, like, before Uber, stepbro bails her out and picks her up. that was Josh. Okay, so now we're in, like, kind of the third act, and we meet Christian, who is, like, her weird James Dean looking friend who's, like, a transfer student, and he dresses like he's in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
The one who ends up eventually being gay.
Yeah, he's, like, so cool. I mean, he dresses really well.
He dresses like Jason Priestley. And also kind of... Well, he looks like Jason Priestley and also kind of like James Dean, too. But then, obviously, Cher's trying to woo this guy, and then she finds out that he's gay. Or Murray tells them. They don't even know. They're kind of like, why does he not like me? And then Murray's like, hello, he's gay. And they don't even... They're so clueless that
it's like,
they
do you
don't
know
even
any
know
straight man
that.
that can dress like that?
Yeah, and it's like a big deal. Which is kind of funny. So then she goes out to a party with Christian, and she wears that iconic, what is it, the Calvin Klein dress? The white one?
Yes.
Which is cool.
And then she has, like, this really cool, like, cardigan. Mm-hmm. Like, silver cardigan.
That's
like
see-through.
White.
Yeah, because it doesn't really, like... Because she's like, oh, no, I'm going to put something over it. And then she doesn't really.
No, her dad is like, you can't go out like that. And she's like, Dad, I wasn't. And it's in this cardigan.
It's, like, see-through, which is kind of funny. Then they go to this party, which is like, I don't know, it looked like a club, because the Mighty Mighty Bosstones are playing. Crazy 90s band, ska band.
No, I think that's how it used to be, right? Like it
was supposed to be a college party, I think.
Like a prom, kind of?
No, it was like a college party, because Josh went. Remember, he's like, should I go to that party? And then he's like, I'm going to watch her. And they're like, the dad's like, yeah, go. But, like, why was Josh, like, and they had beers. Remember, like, Christian tried to buy a beer. And he was like, they're charging for brewskis.
Oh, yeah.
So it's clearly like a 21 and over club or like a 18 and over club.
So how could they go?
Like, I have no idea. It's like another like movie thing.
I guess.
Yeah, that like you just I'm like, I never went to a concert this cool when I was young, where everyone in my high school was there. Like, Elton was there, and Elton's with Amber now, I guess, like, which is a whole other thing, but yeah, and then Ty comes, and she, like, no one's dancing with her, and Josh dances with her, and that's kind of like
and from there, I think she sort of develops, like, a crush.
Yeah, she likes Josh, and then Cher's still trying to woo Christian, so she, like, brings him over to her house, and she cooks that thing, and it, like, doesn't work.
That's also, like, one of my favorite scenes, like, when they're watching something.
Oh, yeah, the movie.
She's in bed, like, trying to be sexy, and then she falls.
She's like, I'm cold. And he, like, puts the pillow on her feet, and then he's like, okay. And she's like, thanks. And then she's just like, it's
she's,
really
like, playing
funny.
with her hair, like, trying to, like, pose sexy, and then she falls out of, like...
Yeah, she falls out of the bed.
And she's like, are you okay? And then, and then she tries to, like, touch him. No, she touched him with her feet.
Yeah, that's when he was like,
I need to go.
Yeah, he's like, I have to go. And she's like, what's wrong? And that's when she finds out, like, obviously she tells Dee, and, like, Dee's driving, which is hilarious. And that's when Murray's with her, and Murray's like, you guys don't know that he's gay? And they're like, what? And they're like, oh, wow, he does dress better than I do.
It's true, yeah.
So, I mean, I guess they kind of, like, figure that out now. But it's kind of funny that he never tells you. Like, I mean, I guess you're just supposed to assume that Murray knows, but he never says, like, Cher, I'm gay. You know, but I guess it's 95. I mean, would he?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't know if he would, but maybe he's not
Yeah.
out. I mean, who knows? Yeah, because he kind of is just, like, hang out with her, and I guess he's new.
I don't think he wanted to, like, come out.
No, yeah, probably not, yeah. But, yeah, so she kind of realizes, okay, this isn't going to happen, but he's a great friend, so she's, like, out shopping with him and stuff. And then Dee driving is just insane. That's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, is her driving. I'm sure there's a YouTube clip of it. If there is, I'll put it in the notes, because it's really funny. It's really good.
It's really cool.
It's really, really good.
Oh, my God. That's, like...
It's, like, the best. There's a lot of driving. Which is cool because it's a big deal to get your license when you're like 15, 16. Now I don't think kids do it because they have friggin' Uber and everything else. So now, and they don't have a car. It's not expected that you're going to get a car. But back then, I guess, they had money. They were all going to get cars. So it wasn't like, how am I going to drive? Which is kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Ty goes to the mall. And then those guys like try to like throw her down that weird, like these guys pick her up and try to throw her down this weird thing, and then she becomes popular at school because everyone thinks
she's
died.
Like telling the story about how she came close to like what was it? Like she's like, it was like a
near death experience.
Yeah. And then I'm like, no, not really. Like,
no,
they were never gonna like,
do anything crazy. Yeah. But they were
like, if anything, Cher did have one, because a guy had a gun.
Which she tells them. She's like, I know that when I was held at gunpoint. And they're like, excuse me. Anyway, back to Ty. And she's like, what? Like, did everyone just blow me off when I told them? You kind of
see, like, Ty changing a little bit.
Mm-hmm, yeah, you definitely do. She's definitely gotten more big-headed and, like, really excited about stuff. Mm-hmm. And everyone's talking to her.
She kind of looks down at people now.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
She's a little Regina George. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. The next one is Cher takes the driving test. She fails spectacularly. Like, she almost hits a biker and she sideswipes a car.
It's really funny, and then she, like, ruins all those cars.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 of them.
She's just like, should I write them a note? The
guy's like... she's like, we need to go back. It's like, why? It's like, it's done. It's, like, finished. And it's like,
it's
but
over?
I haven't... What? Like,
she's like,
I
it's over?
parked yet. It's like...
No.
I can't remember, like, I wish I remember the dialogue, like, what the instructor says.
She says, like, aren't you going to take me somewhere to make left-hand turns?
Oh,
and then he's like, no, it's over. Went back to
failed.
the DMV. Yeah, you failed. No, she's like, how'd I do? And he's like, how'd you do? Okay, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'd say you failed. And she's like, failed? She's like, can I talk to someone else, like a supervisor? I mean, you can't be the absolute and final word. And then he's like, I'm the messiah of the DMV.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
And then she's like all sad and gets out of the car. And then she comes back home and she's like bummed that she failed. And then Ty and Josh are playing like a weird version of a close hacky sack. Because they're like bouncing this ball, but their like knees are kind of interlocked. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's not how you play hacky sack. And then she kind of sees them, I think, and Cher's kind of like, oh great. That's when Ty says like, oh, I kind of like Josh, like we were talking, and
I kind of think that that's how she first kind of thought she could potentially like him, because
Yeah.
I think before that she was not like thinking about him at all. And I think that she sort of got upset, like, no, like, you can't like him. And I think she was thinking, like, why am I bothered? Like,
That's
by
when
it.
she thinks about it, when she like walks around town. When she's
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
have to get out.
She goes shopping.
Yeah, and she totally pulls like a U and just goes shopping. Comes out with shoes.
It's like the worst.
Just walking around and like coming out with shoes. Then she realizes, I love Josh.
She's like, why am I...
Yeah, why am I acting like this? Oh, wait, it's because I love Josh. I was like, he's your stepbrother. But, okay. I mean, they're not blood related, and their
They're
parents
not blood
aren't
related.
married
Exactly.
now. It's
They don't
just
even
kind of
live in the same-
weird.
Yeah, it's like the perfect set, basically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he doesn't live there or anything, so it's not that weird. And then she tries to, like, impress him. Then she's, like, really weird around Josh after she realizes.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't know how to act around him. They're, like, watching something. She's like...
Yeah, she's just, like, all frozen, like, what do you mean? And he's like, I don't know, you just haven't made me watch the real world. And he's like watching CNN.
Oh, yeah, watching news.
Yeah. And he's like, you look confused. And she's like, I thought they declared peace in the Middle East. And then he just, like, looks at her, and he's just like, oh my gosh, like, she doesn't know. And then Cher gets really, like, philanthropic, I guess. And she wants to help, like, the beach disaster. Because I think she wants to, like, to impress Josh, right? Because she wants to, like, show that she's helping people.
I guess, yes. But I also feel like she wants to be occupied. I don't know. But yeah, she
might,
does want to
yeah.
impress him by doing something, like, helping.
Yeah, and that's when she,
Local
like, grabs all that stuff from her house.
And that's also really funny. She's like, Dad, do you like that whatever caviar?
Yeah.
No. I was like...
She's, like, giving
She's,
that
like,
away.
taking all these foods from the cupboard and, like, all these, like...
Fancy.
ski equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why are you gathering that?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
It's like, they need to... These people lost everything they had.
Yeah. They need athletic equipment. And then she goes to, she does, like, the drive at the school, and, like, Travis is now sober, the skater. So now he's, like, giving all these bongs to her, and she's, she's, like, really doing it. I guess she's, like, got everything together. She's got her friends involved and everything like that. And then Cher and Ty go to the skate competition that Travis is like, hey, I'm skating, like, come see me. And then Cher and Ty kind of make up, and she's like, I'm sorry that I, like, didn't see that you really like Travis, like, the skater. Because she still does. I mean, even though she liked Josh, she really liked Travis.
Yeah.
Because, like, that ends up being, like, the guy that she's
he's a
with.
good guy.
Yeah,
and,
he's
like,
just kind of dumb and, stonery. He's not, like, bad. He's just not the kind of guy I think that, like, Cher would go for. But she's kind of like, okay. And I don't think she says anything about Josh. She never tells anyone about Josh.
No, she never says anything,
Yeah, she never says, like, that's good because I like Josh or anything like that. And then I have, like, now Josh is out with Ty, penultimate scene where things get weird, and that's when, like, they're doing some work, and remember he's, like, staring at her, because she's, like, helping out the dad.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's, like, doing her hair, and he's, like, staring at her, and the other guy's like, okay, like, that's it, like, we need to do work, like, stop messing around, and, like, and then it's kind of like, okay, something's gonna happen, and then they have that staircase scene.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Because, like, that guy said something, like, upsetting, and then she's like, have I ruined Dad's case
right.
or whatever?
He's like, go to the mall.
Oh,
Why don't
yeah,
you go to
it's
the
like, why don't
mall
you
or
just go to the
something?
mall?
Yeah, and then she's like, you think I'm just a ditz
I
with a
love
credit
that
card?
scene. It's really cute.
Yeah, and then we find out that they're together, and, like, they kiss, and it's a whole big thing, and then...
it's like a kiss. It's like an actual...
Yeah, not even, like, the very last one. That one was, like, a bit much, but... Then we go to the wedding of the two teachers that she actually got together. Somehow they got married. And that's, like, the end. And then I think, like, Cher's a bridesmaid because she has that pink dress on, right?
Yeah.
And then Dee has that amazing, like fluffy, short, like, neon green skirt.
Cool.
Yeah, and then she talks about how when she gets married, she wants, like, a sailor theme. And she wants
yeah,
all of her
and she wants all her
bridesmaids to wear.
bridesmaids dressed up like that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be a movie. Like, I would love
Yeah.
to see just, like, her and Murray get married, which would be really funny. And then that's the end. Like, everyone's kind of together. Cher's with Josh, and Dee's still with Murray, and then Travis and Ty are together. And then they have that really weird, like, super long kiss at the end.
Really long kiss.
Really long.
Yeah.
For, like, 95, I was like, okay.
With, like, tongues and everything.
Yeah, it's, like, a lot.
It's,
so
like, too much.
yeah, that's the end of Clueless. was really cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad we got to review it. The only things we have left are to talk about our favorite outfits and our least favorite outfits. So, what are some of your favorites?
My favorite, okay.
You can be anything from anyone.
I love Amber's military outfit with like animal print. Like I think it's like fur. I'm guessing fake. I don't know if it was fur.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like fur animal print collar and like trimming at the bottom of the skirt and like cuff. I think it was in the cuffs as well.
Yeah, it was really
That's like
all
really
out.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
And I love. I mean, honestly, I love so many. I love that one. I love like the red checkered like
with
coat
the beret.
with like a little tiny skirt and like knee-high boots with like the little beret and the hat and then I just love the one when she goes shopping and she has like this like really short skirt.
Oh, with a black blazer. That was in
it was
like a
white shirt. That's in it, right?
That was in I think the opening intro.
Maybe
I
thought
think.
I saw. Oh right.
She wears a lot of the same like that skirt that's like an argyle print. Like she wears I think like once or twice.
Right, so it's that one.
Else.
It's that one with a little oversized like blouse, like sheer blouse.
Yeah, that one.
With like white socks and like silver shoes. Really cute. Like kind of like what Miu Miu did last season.
Yeah.
It
is a lot like it, yeah.
I think those are my favorite.
Those are like your favorites of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite ultimate share outfit is the yellow outfit. I mean, I think that's just my favorite.
Oh, yellow,
Yeah, like the one where her and Dee are like coordinating.
Yeah,
That one's really cool. And ties, I really like when she had on that like velvet dress with the collar when they first make her over and she's back in school. I like that. I love Ty's first outfit where she looks like a boy. I think she just looks cool because I like her outfits. But, and then there's another tie, the bad Ty one. I'm trying to think like.
Wait, she's wearing that, when they got to that party, the last one.
Oh, that's right, with the silver docks.
I don't
overall,
like
that one was really bad. I didn't like that one. And then Amber,
because
I like the house
she's wearing
party.
is like unflattering. Like,
yeah, it's like super oversized, but like kind of weird, like kind of childish.
Yeah,
it looks like a little
not
kid.
Not an outfit that you wear to a party. Really.
No, and definitely not what Cher was wearing. She was wearing that like white evening dress, and her friend's wearing like this dumpy kind of like overall set. But and then Dee is the house party when she has like that velvet like crop thing with the skirt that's really like A-line.
What color
and
was that? Was that like
black? And then the bottom was like purple, green, and red flowers.
Oh yeah,
and she has the same colors of
remember
ribbons in her braids.
Really cool.
I was like, that is such a cool outfit.
And
then even at the wedding,
someone who actually had the same outfit
really?
for Halloween this year.
Oh my god,
she just had the same skirt. I don't even know
that's
how.
so
Like
cool.
she didn't buy it at like a costume store. She just had that.
Oh man, that's so cool. That would be like a literal outfit that I would like love
really
to wear. Those are my favorites, I think. But yeah, this is exciting. It's the end of the episode. We'll be back with another one, either talking music or movies or not sure yet. But yeah, look out for another one.
Yeah, and watch Clueless if you haven't.
Yeah, watch Clueless. I'm sure it's out somewhere. I'll try to find if it's streaming and put it down in the notes so people can watch it. But I'm sure it is. It's been on Netflix off and on. It's gone like back and forth.
Yeah, because I watched it recently again on Netflix. Actually.
Yeah, okay, so cool. Sweet, awesome. Well, we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.